for their upcoming movie Safety. After Coach is done here, we will make available producer Mark Chardy, spelling on that C-I-A-R-D-I, following Coach Swinney to answer any questions you all may have on that. With that, I'll turn it over to Coach Swinney.
All right, thank you, Ross. We're excited to be back in the Valley this week. Night game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know it's going to be a great crowd. I think it's another sellout. So really appreciate our fans for the just amazing support. I mean, I see film all the time, and see a lot of empty seats in a lot of stadiums, and we don't take it for granted how fortunate we are to have the passion that we have here at Clemson, so excited about that, and then just proud of our team for the start that we've had. We got a lot of improving to do, but I think it's the first time since '05 we've opened up with 3 straight Power 5 opponents, and so I think we've been challenged, and but yet we've been able to find a way to get to 3-0, which is obviously what we hoped for. So a good start, and think that we're progressing. Charlotte is going to challenge us. This is a team that it's always interesting to kind of turn the page on Sundays and kind of see what the next challenge is. And I tell you what, this is a team offensively that's going to challenge us. This is the most explosive team we've played to this point. I think they got like 25 explosives in 3 games, and they put 41 up on App, and App State's they're not a slouch. It's a good football team, but just the biggest thing I'm impressed with is just how well coached they are. Got a great scheme. Schematically, this was probably the biggest challenge for our defense. Just in what they do structurally, multiple personnel, multiple formations, create a lot of challenges communication-wise, alignment-wise, creating extra gaps, play action, and they're just well coached, know what they're doing, really know what they're doing. So from a scheme standpoint, this is just a challenge. This is the best rushing team we've seen in 3 games. Their ability to run the ball and how they're coordinated to run the ball, this is the best team we've seen in 3 games. So, this is a team that could embarrass us if we don't, really have a great week of preparation and line, get the things down, because it's a different type of challenge than what we've seen, and they know what they're doing, and they play with great energy. They got a great spirit to them. They're physical. The running back is a tough, thick, physical runner. They do a great job with all their zone, split zone, reverse zone read, and the stretch play. And again, the OL is well coordinated up front. So we've got to do a nice job, and then we're going to have to play. We have to win some matchups outside, because just the nature of what they do, they create some one-on-ones, and quarterback's a heck of a player. It's always an equalizer when the quarterback's a runner. and they run him a lot, and they do some unique things with how they run him that split your defense, with misdirection and different type of read stuff. So and the pop passes to go with it. So he's a really good player, and their receivers are skilled. They've made a lot of one-on-one plays. They've made plays in space, made plays downfield. So this is a really well coached, well coordinated offense that has pieces to cause a lot of problems. So I'm very impressed watching them on tape, and I know it's the first year there for Will, and they're off to a good start, 2-1, and obviously in the shootout there, I think it was 56-41 or so with App, and then you flip over to the other side. Defensively, and they're 5th in the country in sacks. I think we're 2nd and they're 5th. They probably have the best player that we've seen to this point in that number 5. He's on all the great player lists, all the awards and all that stuff. And I mean, I kept watching him. I'm going, holy cow! I mean, he looks like Xavier Thomas. He is a really good player. He's physical. He's fast. He's disruptive. I mean, he's causing sacks and tips, and they had a pick 6 against UMass that he caused and created. But really, really good football player. really good player. Both are ends, but that number 5 could play for anybody in the country. And so, like I said, after 3 games, they're 5th in the country in sacks. They've been disruptive, done a nice job, and so this is a team that won't be overwhelmed. They've been in big stadiums, and they got a lot of veteran guys that have been in those situations. So I'm excited about seeing how our guys prepare this week as we start the second quarter of our season. Hard to believe we're already into the second quarter, if you will, but I mean, we got to get better. We got to become more consistent. We've been explosive. We want to be more efficient, and just smarter. Just applying the knowledge. We've played 3 games now, and so we've learned a lot, and we got a lot of knowledge that we can apply. And just want to see us take that next step and start to be that complete team that I know we can be. But proud of our guys. Love the effort of this team, the leadership of this team, and the start that we've had. And again, looking forward to getting back in the Valley this week in a great environment.
Can you tell me your thoughts about how the offensive line has looked the first 3 games and how you kind of graded those guys so far?
They've been outstanding. I mean, I just super proud of our physical bodies all over the ground. They're not a lot of busts. Done a great job communicating. Really proud of Pollard. I mean, we've had a couple of snaps that were a little high, but he's been very, this guy's playing center for the first time, and he's done a heck of a job. And then just their energy and their effort. They've been outstanding. They've been up to the task every single week. They're protecting our quarterback. I think we had no sacks this week. Maybe we've had 2 to this point. And I'm just really proud of him. Jackson Carman's been awesome. I mean, if he keeps progressing, he's got a chance to be a really special player. And then John Simpson is, he's an all-conference, all-American type guy. He's playing that way. And then Cervinka and Ankrum. I mean, it's just a very close group. And then our second guys are coming in there and doing a nice job as well. And I'm very, very pleased with that offensive line at this point.
Coach, I'm assuming DK's back is okay, but Goodrich came in, played half the game on Saturday, had a pass break up in the end zone, had that big interception. How big of a step forward was that for him? I imagine a guy that you're going to need as the season goes on.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he's just confidence. I think it's just huge, to be able to get out there and do it. And obviously made a big play, and it was crazy because he got knocked on the ground, but he hopped up and was able to make a ball play, and just super proud of his development. He's come a long way in a year, and it's fun to see guys grow and get better. And Sheridan and Booth and Lee Anthony are kind of right there too, just kind of going to continue to get more and more opportunity, and we've developed a really good group with some good depth.
Can you update us on Constantine and his knee and what happened?
Yeah, he just tore his ACL again, just doing his rehab work, and just tore. You hate it. It's just really hate it for him, but we'll fix it. I think they're going to fix it Friday, and our doctors are going to do it. I think he had it done back in Louisiana the first time, but we'll do it here. And the good news is he's got a guy like Amari Rogers to look at that's just got player of the game for us, and it's a lot of encouragement. And we lost Matthew Maloney too. I know y'all probably don't know who he is, but he's a freshman walk-on guy for us that we really think is going to be a good player for us, and we think he's going to help us at some point, really. And he tore his ACL this week, so we had 2 of those. We'll get both those guys in the rehab process. And, but Brighton's got a good attitude, and, better it happen now than in December or January or something like that. So just trying to stay positive with him and keep him encouraged. And he's got his whole career in front of him, and there's no reason why he can't come back and be better than ever. And so that's what we're dealing with there.
You said, I think, on your radio show that you feel like this team's a little bit further along
Yeah.
the team last year.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, it's not even close, to be honest with you, after 3 games. Well, first of all, we've been challenged more. I mean, we've played 3 Power 5 teams. Last year at this time, we'd played Furman and A&M and Georgia Southern, and just a different type of deal. We were giving up big plays. We were very inconsistent defensively. And then offensively, I just didn't think we quite had that killer instinct yet, and we were still a work in progress. Justin Ross was a true freshman, and Trevor was coming on. We were trying to kind of figure everything out, and just weren't where we are right now. I mean, as an offense, we're just way ahead. After 3 games, we're scoring more points and averaging more yards than any time in the history of Clemson football. And we really haven't played great. There's so much out there, but I just there's just no question in all phases. We're just further along. Now, will this team improve like that team did? We'll see. That team got better and better and better, and they stayed focused. They never got distracted. They stayed locked in. They were hungry. They were really driven and really had a relentless will to win. And we'll see. But after 3 games, it's really not even close. Where this team is. I really like the energy. I like the focus. The discipline, the consistency that we have. Has been very encouraging. Now, will they make those same strides? Because there's lots of improving to do. But I'm just really pleased, and especially offensively. We're incredibly explosive. We're just not quite as efficient as we need to be, and it's just little things, and that's going to come together quickly. But I like where we are, and if we'll stay the course, we got a chance to. And make the same improvements and stay hungry, we got a chance to be a special group.
Coach, you talked about just the improvements. Lawrence threw 5 games, 5 picks. Doesn't sound like you're greatly concerned. Just what do you need from his end to kind of clean up some of those mistakes through 3 games with the 5 interceptions?
Yeah, they're not all on him. First of all, that's the first thing is we've had a couple on the wideouts, 2 of them exactly, where he did his job exactly like he's supposed to, and the wideout didn't. So it's not, it's easy to just look at the stat thing. But then he's had a couple bad plays too. So just don't try to do too much. He's a very confident player, and he's incredibly smart. And sometimes that can work against you a little bit too, because you want to do a little too many things. And so just stay within the system and just learn from it. He'll be fine.
Had some good offensive lines in the past, but could this one maybe be your most overpowering potentially when you talk about all
Yeah, we have. And, I just think that just their physicality, these guys really, they like it. And they love the challenge. They love to prepare, too. This group really, they're in here watching tape all the time. They love to prepare, and that's just the great leadership that we have. They're very serious about playing well, and they take a lot of pride in their performance. Great leadership. Ankrum is one of the best leaders we've ever had here. Gage, same thing. John, same thing. Pollard, same thing. All 4 of those guys are just great leaders, and they're a really close group. And then the question coming in was would Jackson mature and get serious about being a great player and kind of take the next step in his development, and he has. And the light is just, he's a really high IQ guy, he's a very smart football player, but just his buy-in has been impressive to watch, and just see how he's just jumped right in there and gotten excited about being a great offensive lineman. And I just think he's really set his mind to being great. And he's just become very coachable and unbelievable effort. He's chasing guys downfield. He's having fun. And it's just a lot of fun to watch that kid. He's a special talent. That's why he's one of the top guys in the country coming out. But he's just gotten serious about it. and he's become a really good football player, and not just a good talent. And he deserves a lot of credit because he's worked his butt off. I mean, he's transformed his body, he's gotten stronger, and he's just gotten serious about it. So it's been good to see the maturity in him.
Just your thoughts on Will Healy. I think he's said you're a mentor to him in some ways, and he's texted and talked with you some on the phone.
Yeah, I haven't met him. I'm anxious to meet him. He's a super nice guy, and didn't know much about him, but he actually reached out to me a year or two ago, a couple years ago maybe, when he was at Austin Peay, and he just called and we talked about some different things and a couple of coaching candidates and stuff that he was wanting to talk about, and so that was kind of the first time I even knew who he was, and so then we just kind of have communicated some along the way, and I'll tell you, he's done a heck of a job. He's a sharp coach, and then obviously he gets the job up at Charlotte, and I talked to him a little bit through that process and transition and him getting that job, and talked to him again about some staff things, and he actually hired one of my guys. He hired Zach, but Zach was only there for Zach Alley for about a month, and Zach got hired out at Boise, and doing a good job out there. But I think he's a guy that's going to do a good job there. Smart, got good energy. I think they'll recruit well. I think he'll put a good staff together, and I think it's a great opportunity. But just watching them, again through 3 games, you can just tell that they've got a good spirit to their team, and so he's already created, a good vibe with the group, and his first year and first off season with them. So impressive guy, and looking forward to meeting him this week. So he sent me a text yesterday saying that his 4-year-old been watching Clemson hype videos all week. So he had a problem on his hands. So I told him just keep feeding him them hype videos. He's raising him right. So, but a super nice guy, and again, looking forward to meeting him, and he's done a nice job with this team for sure.
How important is it to you to pay it forward with some of these up-and-coming coaches that maybe want to pick your brain and ask for your advice?
I mean, I think, again, y'all have heard me say many times, I think that's one of the great things about the coaching profession is, it's a brotherhood. I mean, it's a fraternity, and coaches meet and share stuff. I mean, it's really unique. I mean, you have high school coach. I mean, it's always fascinating to me every year when we do our clinic, and I can walk in here, and we always have the offensive line in here, and or we'll have the quarterbacks in here or whatever, and you walk in here and you got this high school coach and this high school coach, and they're rivals, but they're all in here and they're talking ball and swapping ideas, and it's just a very unique profession that way. And I mean, I got in coaching in 1993. And first time I ever went to a clinic was in '93, and went to the convention, and I can just remember going, oh my God, I don't know anybody other than the people I'm working with, and I got a lot to learn. And so, but I'm just thankful that there was all these opportunities over the years to grow and learn as a coach, and I've been able to be around so many. Even though I've only been at 2 places, I've been around a lot of people and a lot of different coaches, and so I've had a lot of people that have been more than willing to mentor me, answer questions, offer advice along the way. And so I definitely, I'm honored, first of all, that somebody would even ask me, my opinion on something or advice on something. And so I'm always willing to help, especially good guys, that I think are great for this profession. And I think Will's one of those guys that's great for this profession, and has got a bright future.
What do you remember? Memories from I think 06 was the Ray Famar year that they're doing the movie on.
Yeah.
What's your memories of that? I know you were an assistant at the time, but just.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 05 or 06. I don't remember specifically, but he was a super nice kid, first of all, and he was a smart kid. I remember that. And he was a dynamic player. He was one of those guys. He played defense, but dabbled a little bit in offense. And but yeah, I was an assistant, and just very aware of the situation. I remember when all that went down, and just a very sad situation with what all of a sudden you're a kid going off to college and you're trying to focus on what you got to do here, and it happens a lot. Sometimes these kids, they get distracted or pulled by things that are going on at home that they have no control over, and all of a sudden you have a crisis situation. And next thing you know, Ray stepped up and brought his brother in, and it created some interesting dynamics, obviously, and just remember that there was I think our compliance had to do waivers and things like that. There was lots of stuff, just little things, like trying to get him to school and just helping them with some basic humanitarian type needs. And so there was that process that was going on, and I remember that, some of the wives and stuff trying to work together to help them. Certainly a very unique story and probably be a very compelling movie when it comes out. I don't know much about it other than that, though.
At not just Clemson, but elsewhere in college football, how much have things changed between now and then in terms of better support networks to help kids who are
man, it's night and day. I mean, it really is. I mean, the rules are very different from where they were certainly when I played, and even back then. I mean, it's just with the way the rules have changed from being able to feed your players, and then obviously the money's very different, the stipends and all that stuff, and just a very different situation. And then now they've got the emergency funds and all those things where those things are available to where players can tap into that, and whether it's they need to get home or they have some type of crisis going on. I mean, so there's been a lot change since then, but that was definitely a tough situation for Ray at that time, and his little brother Famar.
Coach, something we've heard from your players after these last 3 games is this idea of leaving no doubt on the field. And I wanted to ask if you knew kind of the origin of that phrase within the locker room and what that means to you for this team to not leave any doubt when you take the field.
I mean, the origin, I have no idea. It's probably been around for 100 years.
Just with this season.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that maybe just the nature of who we've played, probably more than anything. I think they probably felt like they left a little doubt out there at Texas A&M, and then there was, obviously some chatter going into that game, and public smack talk, if you will. And I think our guys were like, hey, well, let's just kind of want to leave no doubt, and when this one's over, hey, that's on us. We left some doubt. Let's don't leave any doubt. And I think that was kind of a mindset. And then you got to go play Syracuse. Well, they beat us 2 years ago, and then last year it was we got lucky and whatever. And so I just think that's kind of a mindset from some of the leadership of these guys. They want to play well, and when they walk off the field, they don't want to have a lot of discussion about it. And so far they've been able to do that.
Yeah, well, during the preseason, Trevor was saying one of his goals this year was to become more of a vocal leader in the locker room. Have you noticed an improvement in that area from him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's no doubt. I mean, he has done it. I'm so proud of that kid. He's been amazing. Again, this time last year, he's just trying to, go do it. But he has asserted himself as not just the leader of the offense, but one of the top leaders on this team. And he's got great energy. Just really knows when to kind of turn it up and turn it down. I mean, I'm just super proud of him. Has a great head on his shoulders. Just really a breath of fresh air, joy to be around every day. Handles mistakes well. He's just got unbelievable mental toughness, and he's just going to get better and better. He's pretty good. I'm kind of glad he's had a little adversity, to be honest with you. I think that's good for him. And I guarantee you he'll respond.
Sean
Tyler
said
Davis is
yesterday
turning a
that-
lot of heads around the league, not just here locally with his play the last 3 games. With your need for defensive line coming into the season, how much of a luxury it is to have a kid that young advancing so fast?
It's, I mean, just a blessing. I mean, and that's why we've been successful, is we've done a good job in recruiting. I mean, we can be the best coaches in America, but if we don't recruit well, we're going to get average quick. It doesn't matter what we know. It's all about the players you got, and the type of players that they are, who they are, their commitment, their character, their effort, and so it's not just getting talent; it's all of that stuff. So we've done a good job of recruiting and evaluating guys and developing guys, because not everybody's going to walk in here and be Tyler Davis, but occasionally to be able to get a guy like a Tyler, a Christian, a Dexter that can walk in here and from day one be impactful. I mean, it's a huge shot in the arm for us, because we're going to always lose players, and then we'll have other guys that'll step up and be ready. But from time to time, you get a special freshman like that. But he's a heck of a player. I mean, his motor runs. He's fast. He's physical. He's really smart. He's technically improving, and just going to get better. But he's off to a great start.
Sean said yesterday, speaking to the freshmen, that this group has bought in better than any group he's ever seen, and that as a small senior class, he's appreciative of how they've just kind of bought in and fallen in line.
Yeah, I mean, we're in 17 mid-years. 15 of them made a 3.0 or better. They're just – it's a good group. It's a good group, and we got several going to play, and several going to be able to hopefully play their 4 games and get them back. Save a year of eligibility, but it is a very good group. Just about their business. Proud of them in the start that they've had at this point.
This is your 150th game as a head coach at Clemson coming up this week. How have you grown the most when you look back from game 1 until now as a head coach?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Don Munson told me that last night, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. How have I grown the most? I got like 5 pages of loose leaf paper that I keep, and I just kind of, I titled it "What I've Learned as a Head Coach," and I just write stuff. I'm up to like page 5 now. I just write little notes on it along the way. I'd have to go back and look at that and see what the main thing I've learned, but probably just how I manage my time. I think that's probably the biggest thing, and I would say probably for any new head coach, it takes a little while to kind of figure that out, because there's just no way you can be very, very prepared for a job, but until you do that job, there's just no better teacher than experience, and so sometimes you just have to. It's like teaching a class, for example, for the first time. You can go to school and train to be a teacher, and now it's your chance to go have your class and teach your class and go through that first year's of lesson plans and so forth. And it's you just don't know what you don't know. And then the next year, you learn. And you learn, okay, what's really important, what's not, how to manage your time, how to be more efficient because there's 24 hours in a day and you need 25. Just being very organized and detailed and efficient in that area. I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges for any head coach, because there's just, when you first get a job, there's just so much to do. And just from an organization, processes, philosophies, the people, just getting everything, the synergy that you need to be successful. It's a very hard thing. And so in the initial stages, it's just a natural instinct, to just, do too much, and so you can become inefficient that way. And so it takes a little while to kind of figure out, like I said, and kind of get things in order the way you want, so that you can be efficient and really manage, your time and the organization the way it should be. Probably the biggest thing.
Do you keep those papers with you and add to them like all the time, or do you leave them at home and come back?
No, all the time. In my notebook. I just, random. It's on my mind because I just wrote something down. I wrote 2 things down the other day. I was like, you know what? And I just pulled it out, just stapled 5 pieces. I need another piece of loose leaf paper. And I just write random things down, just things I learned along the way. I don't know why I did that. I think I did it in the very beginning because somebody asked me, like in my first year or second year, it's like, what have you learned as a head coach? I'd be like, so I don't know, I just put out a piece of paper and I was like, what I've learned. And I just started writing things and I've just kept it every year, I just stays in my notebook. And I forget about it most of the time. And then I forgot that's in there. Sometimes I'll clean out my notebook and I'll just write random things that I've learned. I'm always learning. Got a long way to go. When I grow up one day, it's going to be awesome.
We talked about how dangerous Charlotte is. I mean, you're not surprised by the Citadel going to Tech and winning, or Army taking Michigan to overtime. You're not surprised by all that.
No, that's college football. I mean, heck, Citadel was probably Alabama's toughest game last year, till Georgia. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. Citadel beat South Carolina. I don't know, somewhere here in the near future, not too long ago future. That's not a shocker. Georgia State went over and beat Tennessee. It's football. It's college football. Anything can happen, especially early in the season, because nobody knows anything about anybody at this point. They really don't. It's just we get all these expectations early in the year and just new people and things happen and anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So yeah, there's no this bunch come in here and beat us. Ain't no doubt about it. We go out there and turn the ball over and play like crap and they could embarrass us, but we try to I think that's important for us this week to show some maturity on how and the respect for the preparation process. And that's one of the reasons we've been a very consistent program is we get ready for what the opponent does, but it's always about Clemson. It's always about a standard of Clemson and a winning performance and pride in that. And that doesn't change. We will not prepare any different this week than we will for whoever. It's all the same. And I think that's created confidence in our preparation and belief in what we do and consistency. But every game's the biggest game. It's the biggest game of the year for us. That's a mindset. But sometimes you have teams that are a little immature. They don't respect or have the humility that they should have, for the preparation process. And next thing you know, you start playing to an opponent or a name or a record, and you get beat. And that's a bad way to be. And but so that's a part of this week for us. Do we have the focus and the maturity and the leadership to prepare to the standard? And I don't have any reason to think that we won't.
Coach Amari got a couple punt returns on Saturday with DK out of the game. Will you kind of take turns with those guys on Saturday, or do you just go back to DK full time? Yeah,
we'll just keep working them. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes, and both those guys are on deck, ready to go. So both can do it.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.